Well, I knew she had something cooked up, but she wasn't going to tell me. So what I'm going to say to try not to repeat what she said in some parts. But first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming. I really, really appreciate it. She needed a good excuse for a party. It's really a pleasure to have all of you here. It feels almost like winning the Academy Award when you start out. The first thing I would have to say is I have to thank my parents. They really wanted to be here today, and I'm very, very sorry they couldn't make it. To them, I thank them a lot. And to all of you, you've all had some role in this. You may not have realized it. One way or another, you had some role in this too. If not helping me directly, by helping some parts for sure.
They kept her occupied.
Yeah. For all of those times when I kept saying to her, no, we can't do this, or we can't go there, we can't do everything there. Saturdays, Sundays, and all those weekends that went down. It was a long haul for her, and me too, but for her. As I've said to some of you, it was really a labor of love for me. I was thoroughly engaged in it right from the start. In fact, I would give you a parallel to running a marathon. For those of you that haven't done a PhD, it runs something like this. You begin with coursework, because I, of course, knew nothing about statistics, among other things. So I went through several years of statistics, or coursework, including statistics. That's like the beginning of training, doing the short runs, maybe about 5 miles or so, 10 miles. And then you get through with that, and then they tell you, okay, now you're ready to start the race and really get into the marathon training itself. Well, you start out by getting a topic, researching the topic, developing the topic. That takes a couple of years, in my case anyway. At that point, you've begun the marathon. Marathon, as you know, is 26.2 miles. Well, that might be good for about 5 miles. You've got all this energy, you're ready to go. That first 5 miles of a marathon is like heaven. You finally get out of the gate and you get going. So I started off really ready to go. I thought I had this all down. I went to defend my topic, and I recall saying to the committee, oh, I can do this quickly. I can have it done in a couple of years. And I think they looked at me like, does this guy really know what he's doing? Because I thought I had it all worked out. I had done a paper during my coursework that I thought led to the foundation of all of this, and it was, but far removed from what the dissertation would involve. I had no idea how much more time that was going to take. But we managed then to get off the ground. My enthusiasm was still fired up, still ready to go. I made the half marathon distance, which is always very nice when you're in the marathon. Boy, that first half marathon is terrific. I feel like $1 million bucks. I can really shoot my way through. You get to about mile 14 or 15, and things begin to slow down. The whole world feels like it's just collapsing on your shoulders, and that's what happens with you write a dissertation. In about, maybe 3 or 4 years, Jan? Maybe longer than that. I got bogged down in the details of what I was trying to do and trying to run the statistical part of it. And Jan says, you just got to stay focused here. She'd give me direction when I needed it. I could not have asked for a better teacher and instructor and mentor than Jan Wetzel. Whenever I felt down about this whole affair, all I had to do was send her an email, and she immediately would give me back the guidance that I needed to get back on track and get it moving. I could have easily stopped Jan without that. There were points when that would have happened. I think Marcia's right. I probably would have been very happy about it in the long run. Your guidance was superb. So we managed to get through the 14, 15 mile mark. You begin to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know where it's going to go. In my case, I did a quantitative study, did the data analysis. You have to massage that a little bit. It takes a good bit to play with the statistics and understand what it is they're telling you. Once I finally figured that out, you get to about in the equivalent of a marathon at about mile 18 or 19. At that point, I thought, well, I have it. I know what it says. I know what it all means. Now I have to write about it. Well, I don't know how many of you have ever seen my writing. I tend to be rather concise. I know I'm a lawyer, Mark, but I do not write and get paid by the word. Same thing with my students when I talk, folks. You guys, I didn't look for long answers. I looked for one that was to the point, relevant, give me a 1, 2, 3, and tell me what you're reaching for a conclusion. I think I wrote the same way when I started to write my dissertation. And Jan wrote back to me at one point and said, "You're a little terse." That stopped me. I didn't know what that word meant. I had to look up the word terse. I would summarize it by saying brief. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, because in my mind I thought I had it. And then to expand it and draw that out took a long time. In the end, it wound up about 150 pages. I thought I had it about 75. Wrong.